Hello, my name is Ralph and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to show you how to hook up a Dyna 2000i system for your bike. These systems are very versatile. I like them. You must use the cap in the back, which I'll show you, in order to run here on these. But for all intents and purposes, they're a very versatile system. What you'll find, you can run this on a regular dual fire system where your plugs are both firing at once. And by flipping the dip switch on here, you can switch it to a single fire system. In order to run the single fire system, you would have to have a single fire coil. So in order to use this system, it depends whether you're going to go single fire or dual fire. If you're dual fire, like a regular fire, like a shovel or an Evo, then this kind of coil is what you would need. With just 2 terminals are what you need, and that will take care of your dual fire setup. In order to run it in your system, you're going to have an ignition cup like this. These are 83 and up ignition cups. Let me see what the part number is, 32402-83. And this is what you need to run on the ignition system. This will rotate inside on these grooves, and as it goes by, it sets the timing as it rotates. So you need to have the cup to start with. If you're early shovel and stuff, you may have a set of weights in there. You can take the weights out, throw them away, put the cup in, and away you go. Stick this in on a dual fire setup, and you're good to go. If you want to go single fire, there's dip switches on here and the little ones on the end here, which you set to for a single fire unit. If you're going single fire, then you're going to need a coil like this. And these come with a lot of the systems, and they have 3 terminals. So one being for your front terminal, one for your power, and one for your rear terminal. So each one runs each cylinder individually. So you can go this route. You can also go this way with 2 independent coils depending on your coil mount, or if you're going to set one up however you want it. But one coil would be for the front cylinder, one coil will be for the rear cylinder, and the power will be jumped between the 2 of them. So there's these different kinds of configurations that you can use with the Dyna single fire system. It's a very simple system, it's very durable, and it's easy for anybody to set up on their bike. And we're going to try to walk you through some static timing today and just give you an idea of just how easy this is. So let's get at it. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the spark plugs from the motor. This way we can turn the motor over by putting the bike into 5th gear and rotating the engine to find top dead center on the front cylinder, and that's where we want to be to set the unit. So we're going to get our bike up into 5th gear. And this way we can bump the motor over until we're getting compression on the front cylinder. And now we're coming up. You can hear that. We have this little tool with a plastic tip on it that we like to put in there and see where the piston's at. While bumping the rear tire, we're just going to bring it up till we're at top dead center, to where the piston is at the very top of the stroke. There we are, we're at the top of the stroke right there. So there, by bumping the rear tire around and having a little screwdriver in there, we've got it up so that we know that our piston is at the very top of the cycle, top dead center on the front compression stroke. You can feel the compression stroke because as you bump the tire, you'll feel it. And now we're coming up. You can hear that. Your compression will build up in the front cylinder, and when you're getting close, put your little tool in there, just bump it until it comes straight up to the top, and now we know we're ready to set. So now we'll go put the system into the bike. So as you can see in here, we have our ignition plate in here, our rotor, and that's in place and tightened in. And we're going to start feeding the ignition wires down through the hole in the cover. All right, we know that our holes to mount it are here on the sides, so we want to be aware of that and where we're positioning the plate. slide that into place. Get a little bit of excess wire in there, which is fine. And we're able to rotate the plate wherever we want to go on it. I'm going to pull a little more through there. Okay. We're going to lightly put our screws back in. Just going to put them in lightly. We're not going to lock the plate down because we're going to want to be able to move the plate. And the idea is to be able to move the plate back and forth like this. So we want it free. So we're just going to take our wiring and put it down through the system. Here we're going to run it between these cables because this will keep it off of our exhaust. And we know where we're going with it. And we're going to run it up in behind our oil pump. So we'll feed it around the back side of the oil pump and just pull it up through there. We're going to go behind our push rods. And we're going to feed it out through our cylinders to the other side. So these small little dip switches that are in here, there's 6 of them, and that's how you'll set up your ignition depending on the type of bike you have. Dyna has the instructions sheet which walks you through which ones to put up. So in our particular system, on is up, down is off. On our first position is number 1, off, which is normal. It allows the timing to reach 1500 RPM under light engine load. So we want the first one off. So we'll just click that down. Number 2 is off. These are to turn the curves off and to figure out your advanced curves. In our particular engine, we're going to have number 3 on here because this is a 96-inch motor. And number 3, they say, is good for built motors. And advanced comes on slower than curve 2 to a lower value. So number 3 is about where we want to run with this motor. The number 4 and 5 position are both off here. And that sets you up to about a 6,000 RPM rev limit on it. You can change that to set up to 6,500 or 7,000, but 6,000 is a safe place, and I always like to run it around there. And number 6, your last one here, of course, is to the on position because we're going to run a single fire. If we were running dual fire system, this would be clicked down to off. So those are the basic settings for where you want it set at. So now we've got our wires out here where we want them, and you can see they're distinct different colors. So we know very well that the green wire can be hooked up if you have a tack. That could be your green wire, and that's for the tack. The purple wire is for a VOES switch, vacuum operated switch, which we don't have on this. We'll just tuck the purple wire back up into the harness, like so. The white wire will be for our power wire, of which we'll use a jumper between the 2 of them. The pink wire here will be for the rear cylinder, and their blue wire will be for the front cylinder. So we're going to use these 4 wires, and we've tucked the purple wire up inside the harness because we're not going to use it. We're not running a VOES switch on it. There, we get them all shrink wrapped and ready to go. So we're just gonna stick these bolts in here lightly, kind of hold this stuff in place, and this leaves us our, once the play with to go to our coils. So we're going to start by getting our wires together, and we're going to work on the rear coil first. So we have our connections underneath, and this black wire in our case happens to be our hot wire, our 12-volt wire. So we'll put a screw through that. Right. Now we need to connect our jumper and our blue wire to our front coil. The jumper wire will go inside this one because it's a single by itself, and it's giving power back and forth back to both coils. Jumped off the other one. Our blue wire is to go here. So there we go. On the S&S flywheels, it has T, F, and 2 dots. So that's where it's at. Depending on your bike, you have to check the marks in it. Now the straight slash in the front is front cylinder advance on this particular bike, so don't be confused. Make sure that you have your top dead center mark. If you're unsure, you can always make sure that your piston is up at the top here like that. And that's where it is. You can go rotate it back and make sure that's at top dead center, and then check and make sure for your alignment there at top dead center to be doubly sure. We'll stick our plug back in. Not to forget that before you fire it up, or you'll have oil everywhere. So we've turned our key on, and we can see the red light there. And we just want to turn it until the red light goes out. And we want to lock it down. That should do it. So there we've got just about everything lined up, and she'll fire up. We'll put a new set of plugs in it, and we're going to put a new set of plug wires on it because I don't know how long they've been on, and the plug wires could fail. We're not taking any chances with this. We want to make sure that everything was as it should be. The new 2000i in it. Can't be anything wrong. So, if you want to hook up your 2000i Dyna system in your bike, that's the way to do it. The only difference we have here is with the coils. These are single coils, you know, at 3 ohms a piece. With the other type that I showed you, a lot of them will come in a mini coil, they call it, and you can put that on your bike just where you would mount your regular coil. But it's that simple to set up a Dyna 2000. That's why I like them. No muss, no fuss, no bother, and rarely have problems with them. So do yourself a favor, do your bike a favor, put a Dyna in it and be done with it. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those sorts of things for getting notifications for when our newest videos are coming out, and there'll be more. So stick with us. Tell your friends, pass it around, get more people to subscribe, and help our channel to grow. All right, that's it for today.